Hey Crossroads kids, I'm so glad that you are back to join us on our next video in our series about pets. Today, we're going to be talking about fast and slow and why both of these things can be important in our relationship with the Lord. I'm super excited to get started today. You know, I was thinking earlier about what I was going to make for dinner tonight, and I realized that I have lots of time. It's not like when you guys get home from all of your sports and school and gymnastics and dance and all those things, and you guys are in a hurry to get dinner. And when that happens, usually your family probably doesn't, take a long time. They grab something and throw it on the stove, or they pop something in the microwave, or maybe you even go to McDonald's or Burger King because it's quick. What your family's probably not going to do is grab a crock pot. Crock pots are not fast. And in our fast food world, it can seem kind of silly to use a crock pot. Crock pots take forever. If your family tried to use a crock pot at 5 o'clock at night when it was time for dinner, your food wouldn't be ready until midnight. The nice thing about crock pots, though, is that they make food that tastes so good because it takes a long time to make and the flavors get all mixed together well and it's delicious. It's also great because it's easy. You can throw stuff in there and let it cook for you. The thing is, though, we might not understand why we use a crock pot when we know it's going to take forever. Our relationship with the Lord is the same way sometimes. We don't always understand what the Lord's doing. We don't always understand why things are taking a long time. But the good news is we know that no matter what, God is in control and His timing is always perfect, even if we get impatient about it. That's what we're going to learn about today, is how we have to stick to it and stay persistent and wait on God's timing. I can't wait to get started with you guys. First, though, we have a couple of special guests to teach us a little bit about why sometimes it's okay to go slow. I hope you'll join me in watching. Hey, I'm looking for Tina the Turtle. Are you Tina the Turtle?
You found her.
Great! So I'm really in the mood for a great salad, and I heard that you know where to get lettuce, that there's a really good lettuce patch near here. So do you have the hook up on lettuce?
I do.
Oh, great!
The hook.
Okay, fantastic. So you know where the lettuce patch is?
On lettuce.
Great! So can you show me where the lettuce patch is, because I really need that salad.
I have the hook up. You
On lettuce.
on lettuce. You can follow me.
Oh, you're a turtle. You're slow. I'm in a hurry.
And I am on my way.
I know. I just really don't have time for the slow turtle gag because I really just need to get this lettuce so I can get going. And
life is not a sprint. It's a marathon.
what are you, a philosopher now? Come on.
I am the girl with the hook up.
On lettuce.
Follow me.
Okay, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, turtle, let's go. I'm in a hurry. I could never be a turtle. You're so slow.
You can never give up. Be persistent. Keep moving. Never quit.
Yeah, you can't quit. If you quit, you'll never get there.
You will never get there if you quit.
I guess that's true.
Never give up.
Okay, never give up.
Follow me. I have the hookup
On lettuce.
on lettuce.
Okay, we'll do this your way, turtle. Man, turtles like Tina can be slow, and we like to think that that's frustrating, but honestly, it's one of the things that we love about them too. A turtle's never gonna run out the front door, down the street, and out of sight like a dog is. Turtles can't get very far very fast, so we don't ever have any trouble keeping up with them, that's for sure. Despite their slowness, though, you're never gonna see a turtle give up, just like Tina told us. If a turtle has someplace to go, he or she's gonna get there. It just might take a while. Turtles move slowly towards shelter, towards water, towards food, and they always get where they're going. They don't let their slowness become an excuse. They keep walking, they persevere, and they always get what they're after. It's interesting that God would make a creature as slow as a turtle because the turtle has a lot to teach us about following God. Turtles are patient. Turtles don't get discouraged, and turtles never give up on their goals. How many of us can say the same about our relationships with the Lord? And when things don't happen quickly for us, we get discouraged, and sometimes we even give up on God. But when we're pursuing the Lord and we're following after Christ, we need to resist the urge to quit. We need to pray and press on and keep following Jesus, never giving up. Jesus told a parable about this kind of persistence. It was the story about a woman who wouldn't take no for an answer. I hope you'll grab your Bibles and join me in Luke chapter 18. All right, we're in Luke chapter 18, verses 1 through 8. Follow along with me while I read. One day, Jesus told his disciples a story to show that they should always pray and never give up. There was a judge in a certain city, he said, who neither feared God nor cared about people. A widow of that city came to him repeatedly, saying, "Give me justice in this dispute with my enemy." The judge ignored her for a while, but finally he said to himself, "I don't fear God or care about people, but this woman is driving me crazy. I'm going to see that she gets justice because she is wearing me out with her constant requests." Then the Lord said, "Learn a lesson from this unjust judge. Even he rendered a just decision in the end. So don't you think God will surely give justice to his chosen people who cry out to him day and night? Will he keep putting them off? I tell you, he will grant justice to them quickly. But when the Son of Man returns, how many will he find on the earth who have faith?" The hero in Jesus' story here is a widow. Widows were some of the lowest people in Jesus' time. Most of them had no money and no jobs. They were completely dependent on their family members or on the charity and good wishes of others. This widow was a nobody, but she was demanding justice from a judge who didn't believe in God or care about other people. It seems like this judge really only cared about himself. He's the kind of man who probably only granted favors to people who could do something for him, and that definitely wasn't this widow. She would have no chance of even getting to talk to him, let alone get justice from him, because she was a nobody. But because the widow was so persistent and kept going, the judge granted her wish. God is not like the judge in the story because God cares about all of us and because he's always going to do the right thing. He loved us enough to send Jesus to die for us. And Jesus said, if a man who doesn't care about God would answer the plea of this widow, then how much more do we know that God will answer our prayers? Sometimes God makes us wait. Sometimes we can get discouraged. But we have to be like the widow in this story and like turtles. We have to keep going and never give up. We have to be persistent in following Jesus. That's our bottom line today, our thing I want you to remember, our main point. Never give up. Be persistent in following Jesus. One of the reasons that so many people give up on God is because they think maybe he's not listening. When God doesn't answer us right away, or when he doesn't answer us in the way that we thought he was going to, or the way that we hoped he would, we can get discouraged. Some people might even think that God doesn't care, or worse, that he's not really there. They give up hope and they give up on God. Sometimes God does make us wait, but he always has a reason for that. God is always teaching us about patience, but he does so much more than that. He uses the time that we spend waiting to teach us something about ourselves. He prepares us for what's going to come next. He gets us ready for what's ahead. And he shapes us into the people that he wants us to be. He is never wasting our time. Waiting, when we're waiting on God, isn't a time that we need to be discouraged. It's a time to be thankful. It means that God's working on us. He's making us into better people who are more like him. When he finally, as we see it, finally answers our prayers in his perfect timing, we'll be ready for whatever the answer is because of the work that God has done in us. The hungry turtle knows that it's never going to get its food if it gives up. The thirsty turtle knows that it will never get the drink that it needs if it lies down and quits. If we stay persistent and we keep praying for God's will and for His guidance, then He'll give us what we need. He'll satisfy us just like He satisfies the turtle. God will strengthen our faith, and He will use it to show others what it means to wait on the Lord. No one likes having to wait, but the last thing we should do is give up on God. We have to be like the turtle. We have to keep going and be persistent. Never give up on the Lord because He doesn't answer things in the way that we want Him to. We have to wait and be patient because we know that God is doing a good work in us. He's going to get us ready for whatever comes next. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I hope that you've learned what it means to never give up and keep going in your faith with the Lord. Now I want you to answer these questions that come up on the screen. Well, I hope you had a chance to talk about those questions with your friends and family. Remember, don't give up when it comes to following Jesus. Be like the turtle. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.